back. Thanks again for joining us for another one of our special SABC The New Age business briefings. Today, we're dissecting the State of the Nation address. It's been called a barometer of the pulse of the nation, a sort of an audit of the achievements and some of the shortcomings of the past year, and a throw forward to the year ahead. We're taking a look at the content now, and of course, key on the agenda for many a South African, the energy issue, right? A lot of people are having shown a frustration about the load shedding. We also know President Jacob Zuma touched on it. In fact, in his speech, he acknowledged the inconvenience that load shedding has on the nation, even breaking out into isiZulu to drive the message home, saying, "Uhulumeni wenza konke okusemandleni akhe ukubhekana nesimo sokuncipha." So the president delving a little deeper into that issue. But let's unpack it now. The Public Enterprises Minister, Lynn Brown, I know that this is a jurisdiction that is shared by yourself and your counterpart, Tina Joemark-Peterson. But let's perhaps speak to you about the announcement. President Jacob Zuma promising 23 billion rand cash injection for Eskom. Much needed relief, I assume.
Yes, it's very, very needed, because what we have to do to avoid load shedding into the future is to make sure that we take, that Eskom continues to do maintenance. And when we do maintenance, we take the plants off the grid. And then when the plant's off the grid, there's less electricity that goes into the national grid. So that's one of the for us, it's really, really important. And I think that the South African government and the president announced it yesterday, that going in as soon as April starts, that's when we will be expecting the money to come through.
And that ever-elusive completion of the power plants, Medupi, Kusile, anything on the horizon that we can look forward to as South Africans?
Well, I think in the next couple of weeks, we'll have Unit 6 of Medupi ready for synchronization. And then, of course, in 2016, we'll have Kusile. Collectively, the 3 power stations will contribute 10,000 megawatts to our national grid. And that will be a huge relief in terms of the sort of more medium to longer term electricity outlook.
And lastly, and very briefly, we are calling it an energy crisis. Is Eskom in crisis? Are we in crisis in terms of energy in the country?
Well, I think we're not in a crisis because we've got a solution. And I think the president's outlined that solution yesterday, that we have a short-term plan for Eskom to help it to create the kind of financial stability and deal with issues of maintenance. And then in the more medium to long term, you'll see that coal IPPs, we've already had requests for proposals, coal IPPs, cogen, and a various energy mix into the future. And so I don't think we're in a crisis at all. I think we do have very serious complications with our electricity, but we also need the public, and the president made that announcement as well, to help us. If you are able to save energy in your home, in your factory, in your business, it puts less pressure onto the national grid and less chance of load shedding into the future.
So all our responsibility. Thank you so much, Minister Lynn Brown, Public Enterprises Minister.